A mountain cave on the outskirts of Ostia. Here a sacred weapon lies waiting, the seal guarding it broken. However, to retrieve the weapon, one must pass a trial. A long, seemingly uncrossable distance. Eliwood must overcome the challenge with the help of his friends. Eliwood's true strength will soon be sorely tested. Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem. Regrettably, I am losing my voice a bit for this episode, which is going to affect, the audio quality a bit, so sorry about that. Don't know if it's from making LPs all day, or from speaking at work all day, or from yelling at the people in Dota 2 in the meantime. I'm figuring one of the above. But here, we'll go ahead and cut to Nurgle being a creepy douche again. There we go. She never had any intention of offering her aid. That all explains whatever's going on. Oh, he just wants to... Okay, so he wants to take the dragon's quintessence too. This guy's all about the quintessence, man. You're but a tool. I don't want to help you. Whatever. That's no good. Well, she was flipping out before, and what in the world is that shadow? Your true form is liberated. Oh, there you go. And Shadow's gone, and he grins. There will never be a place you can call home. Well, that's pretty mean of you to say. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut to the sealed lava cave. Holy crap, look at the walls of this place. Okay, convection heat does not work that way. You can't just walk in a place filled with lava. Oh, apparently... Wait. Okay, so they are saying it's ludicrously hot. Good. Durandal. The weapons we wielded. Power fearsome enough to cut down dragons. Ah, the usual things. There was a legendary weapon. We sealed it away. Former soldiers. Wait, what? Okay, so this is a bit of an odd stage. You can only bring 5 units with you for the entirety of the stage. So bring your best and brightest. Or if you need to train someone else who isn't your best and brightest, feel free to bring them along too. In this case, I'm going to bring Matthew along because he needs some experience, Oswin because he's an absolute beast and hasn't been getting enough stuff lately, and Nino and Raven. Nino because, well, come on, she's never leaving our party again, and Raven simply because he's a bit of a badass himself. Now, left side is going to be primarily magic users, up to and including a sage at the very end there. Eliwood's path is going to have a bunch of lance, sword, and axe users, and the right side is going to have a bunch of ranged units, so Oswin is going to be plenty good to tank them. And at the very end we have a single berserker called... wait, Georg? Okay, Georg it is. Who will actually drop a tomahawk after he dies. Tomahawks are a fairly dangerous weapon as they are an A-rank axe that is a better version of a hand axe. You can see Might 7 hit 60, Might 13 hit 65, so considerably more powerful but not much more accurate. So let's see what weapons Eliwood has on him. I'm thinking I have some decent swords on him, do I not? Steel blade, iron blade, iron sword, killing edge, good? No, plenty of good items. Let me just make sure no enemies drop items here. If they do, I'll have to clear out some space in my inventory. Elixirs. Oh, a rapier. Eliwood will have to drop something for that. A lot of people seem to drop some elixirs in this level, so I may just have people drop their vulneraries when the time comes to grab those. But until then, we should be plenty fast enough to take down just about anyone that comes our way. And if anything ever gives me trouble, I can just send out Nino to tear it apart. Speaking of Nino, she does need a new L-Fire tome, so I'm going to give her that before we start the level. Transfer, take, L-Fire, good, good. And I'm going to keep her with the Iron Rune, since it will prevent any and all critical hits. Which will include dark magic users, even though I don't think there are any on this particular stage. Oh, there is one, and he's got Flux, okay. It's really Luna that I'm more worried about, but take that for what you will. Meanwhile, Raven is going to have a bit of a hard time given the fact that he only has 4 resistance. Still, this is going to be a wonderful test for him and a little bit of experience for him to get. Do we have any hand axes for him? That would be absolutely amazing if I could find a hand axe. What about a list? Do we have any on the list? Killer axe, hand axe, there we go. Bartray. You've been carrying that since the beginning of the game. Time to hand it over. Save and start the level. Now, the big gimmick here is that there are 3 paths, and you can't get your units across them. If you have someone with a rescue staff, you can actually bypass this and pull Eliwood out of the middle of it, or if you have a warp staff, you can send someone over there. Of course, you don't have to do either of these things, so you're free to just go ahead and charge forward with everyone anyway. As you can see, Eliwood has gained quite a bit of speed and movement range with his upgrade, but his attack power remains as stellar as ever, even if he does have a bit of a... It's like his horse jumps when he attacks. Yeah, it does! His horse jumps into the air when he attacks, so there you go. Luckily, he is considerably more powerful, which is good considering he's going to have to get some really good stat growth to be able to catch up with everyone else at this point. There's really not many places for Eliwood to level up near the end of the game here, which is going to be his main weakness. Meanwhile, Raven can just one-shot most mages over here, but he's always got Nino behind him if things get tough. Now, remember, this is another stage that you can't bring Merlinus on, so if you are planning to gather all of the elixirs here, just be sure to have, well, anything at the ready in terms of open spaces in your inventory. Otherwise you won't really be able to grab them. Oh, and apparently Matthew had an Elfire tome that I never took off of him. That's a bit unfortunate, but whatever. So, as you can see, Eliwood's enemies are going to be comprised mainly of axe users and the one knight, for some reason. Meanwhile, magic users on the left-hand side are going to be one-shot by Raven or one-shot by Nino. Hopefully Raven, since I really need him to get some more experience to be a decent unit. And then on the right-hand side, Oswin is going to be able to tank up hits. Oh, one of the actual notable parts about this level, and one I'd forgotten about until just now. If you see those little squares with the red on them, it looks... I don't know if you can see this on the video. I'm hoping you can. This square and squares like it have little red spots on them. If you're on a red spot square when the turn ends, you will take damage. That's pretty much it. So be wary of that, and just don't stand on the spaces that have those on there, because if you do, it will end up badly for you. Eliwood is going to equip a Killing Edge here, which is going to give him the crit he needs to take out this enemy. And the rest of the enemies are all axe users, so I'm not too worried about this now. Matthew can go ahead and move ahead. I'm not moving him onto a red square, am I? No. Good. So he can use a steel blade, or a steel sword, or a killing edge. Just going to use a steel sword this time to take out this guardian here. There we go, most excellent. Matthew doing moderate amounts of damage, could be doing better, but once he gets a silver sword into his inventory, he'll be a nigh unstoppable force. He just needs to get that skill up. That's really his main problem at the moment. And of course I'll keep Nino nearby, but she's really just the backup plan in case everything else fails. Luckily, the enemies don't seem to realize that you can't, or rather the AI's programmed not to realize that you can't step on those red tiles without taking damage. So often you'll find that you'll just be encountering enemies that are at half health when you reach them, just because they've stood on red squares to get to you. Like this mage here, although that mage would have died anyway thanks to Raven. I can't remember exactly how much damage the red squares do, but I think it's something significant, so you'll probably want to stay away from it. That's a pretty good level up for Raven, still no resistance, but he's not meant to be a mage killer, he's meant to be a physical damage dealer. So, we have a bunch of archers moving in now. There we go, Oswin's just going to tank it up, which he is wont to do. Oh. A hand axe, 11% chance to hit and he lands it. That is some luck right there. Oh, and then the druid with flux, whatever will he do? 14 damage. Might actually hurt him if it could hit, whereas hand axe will definitely hurt when it does hit. Gets a full half a level off of that, so that's pretty excellent. And a weapon level increase on his axes, excellent. Is he C now? Or what is he? I'm gonna toss his vulnerary for this elixir. There we go. Oh, and he has bolting. Okay, I'd actually forgotten about that, even though I just saw it earlier, so I really should have remembered it. And really? 30% chance to hit, and he does too? That's some pretty terrible luck. So as you can see, there is going to be a unit with bolting standing up at the top left-hand corner, which is going to fire at the weakest unit within his range. In this case, that's going to be Eliwood. If you have anyone that can actually bother to fight him, then you should be able to do so. Otherwise, just kind of have the 5 hits tanked and then make it to the boss's area. The goal on this level is to claim a space, And all that means is you have to step on this space and say claim instead of stepping on the space and saying seize, which is evidently different somehow. There we go. Or maybe you just have to move Eliwood onto the space and you don't actually have to select the claim command. I don't know for certain. That's a really terrible level up, Matthew, and you should be a little bit of ashamed. You should be a little bit of ashamed. No, you should be a little bit ashamed. There we go. Oswin proving that he's still got it with his spear twirling action from back in his high school days. There we go. He was the #1 member of the General Color Guard. I'm going to stick Nino here since one of these axe users is going to attack her this next turn. Or Raven, one of the two. And I'm going to move Raven up, but not onto the red square in the meantime. Oh no, evidently he is not going to attack. Eliwood gets hit by another 51% chance. This is some really bad luck on his part. But he manages to take the enemy out with a killing edge, so no real harm done there. HP and strength are good level ups. I'd prefer literally every stat, but I'll take what I can get. Then again, when wouldn't it be beneficial to prefer literally every single stat? Oh well, that unit has put me in a bit of a bind by not stepping onto that red square, but I suppose that's my fault for moving Matthew into a bad position there. Wow, Eliwood's dodge is even less than the Swordmaster's. He doesn't even bother to move, his horse just kinda tilts. Now, the red squares can't actually kill the Guardians, they can merely reduce them to 1 health, but still, that does significantly help you if you're running into any troubles with them. Here we go, Raven is going to be more than capable of taking out that mage with Hellfire. And he's nearly to another level, hopefully containing some resistance for him. And I'm going to have Eliwood take out this unit with his killing edge next turn, or during the enemy's turn anyway, because I'm going to have him use a vulnerary this turn. If he gets hit by another bolting, which with his luck is actually pretty likely, I'll definitely want that to happen. I could have Nino take him out, but I want the experience to go to Eliwood, so there's that. I could send Oswin out to take out this enemy, but I don't think I'm going to be doing so. He also doesn't have ranged attacks because I forgot to give him a javelin, so that was fairly poor decision making on my part. Eliwood does not get a crit, so he's going to be wasting 2 uses of his killing edge here. But that's alright, we can deal with 2 uses of a killing edge if it means killing off the enemy in the meantime. That fighter sitting there with an axe is kind of worrying me though. I'm hoping he moves so Eliwood doesn't have to move onto the red spaces surrounding him. But knowing this game, I'm not entirely certain if he will. I wouldn't be surprised if the directors... The directors? What is a game direct? The developers, there we are. If the developers chose to just put a square that he couldn't access in there. Anyway, HP, skill, and luck up, which is a good thing considering Raven's luck is absolutely terrible at the moment. Guardian with lightning can barely do any damage since light magic is ludicrously weak in this game, unless you're using something extremely powerful, like the ultimate tome, but even then, the ultimate tome is just far outclassed by Luna. So, you really don't have to worry about it too much. And when I say outclassed by Luna, you might be saying, well, PA, you wouldn't really be able to use Luna with a light magic user, so it's obviously something entirely different. Well, there's a bit to that later in the game. Which is to say, in the next couple of chapters, because we pretty much ended the game. We're getting pretty near to the end here, indeed. Raven is going to dodge that bolting hit, which is good, because he would have had to blow his last vulnerary charge to be able to survive that. And how many bolting charges does this guy have left? 2? He might actually need Nino's vulnerary as well. But I don't want to move her. I really should have given her a heal staff for this level, but as I have mentioned before, I am not a clever man, so I'm going to go ahead and move Eliwood here, right next to the Guardian. Oh, that's a bad move. He has a hand axe. I'm an idiot. So I'm going to see if that Guardian won't move from his space and attack me. If he won't, then I'll just have Eliwood move in with a killing edge and hopefully instant 1-turn gib him. But I'm not entirely anticipating that result, so take that for what you will. Oswin just continuing to land the crits. And I should mention, since Oswin and Matthew do have an A support, they make an excellent team. Since you can only bring 5 units with you on this level, if you do have anyone with an A support between 2 units, you should usually send those 2 units along with each other. The extra hit, crit, and dodge chance is extremely useful. Guardian with a hand axe can't hit Eliwood. I might have even wanted to give Eliwood the light brand, considering I don't really have that much for it. Plus, I mean, the light brand, while it is fairly useful, I also have a Hammerny staff to use on it if I start to run out of uses, so it's not really something that you have to say, well, I don't want to waste this on. Now, if I'd given Nino bolting, she'd be able to just run up and kill that mage now. Since I didn't, she, well, can't. When did Raven get an elixir? Oh, when he killed a unit, good. Now, I don't know if this unit is going to move, but I think I'm going to take the chance with Eliwood. It's only a 13% chance that he's going to get hit. So that should be alright, and it really would take the combined efforts of this Guardian, the bolting user, and the floor tile beneath Eliwood to be able to kill him, so take that for what it's worth. Eliwood gets a bunch of EXP, nearly leveling up, but not quite, and he does get an elixir, which I will replace his one-use vulnerary with. Now? Wait, what? I am extremely confused. I was under the impression that if a unit didn't have... Oh, I'm going to have to run straight up to that knight, aren't I? That's kind of a dick move. I was under the impression that if you spent your turn attacking an enemy, you couldn't move afterwards. Maybe it's because he found an item that allows that? I mean, I could have sworn that mounted units were not allowed to move after attacking. Maybe I was wrong. Anyway, that's a great level up for Eliwood, and one that he desperately needed, because his stats are a little bit subpar. He also gets a rapier out of that, which I'm going to go ahead and drop his iron sword for. Because at this point, he could actually afford to use the rapier for the rest of the game. He doesn't really have to worry about uses as much anymore. Or if it starts to get weak, he could always wield, what would it be, a Hammerny staff and get it back up. We still have 2 uses left on that. Of course, one of the uses having been used on our longbow in the last episode. But hey, that was a good thing to use it on, so I'm not really too worried about that. Now, we do have a single Guardian again with another elixir, if you really needed a second one. Well, I am going to use this one, because why not? Eliwood's about to get a second. And then I'm going to move Eliwood another space to the side. And here we go. Oswin is going to easily take out this Guardian with the Javelin. In fact, I'm going to have him use a Steel Axe, because he needs some training with axes. I think he's S with the lances already, but I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. In fact, I'll check that right after this fight. Make absolutely sure that I'm not making a fool of myself. Anyway, well, I'm probably making a fool of myself anyway. Trying to do an LP with my voice being on the outs, but take that for what you will. Oh no, he is S with lances. He's only E with axes. Wait, a steel axe is an E? What the hell? Since when? Oh my god, the boss moves. Okay, it would have been really good of me to give Eliwood the full guard, because it seems that the boss has crit chance. Oh shit. Luckily, Eliwood's on a horse. He can run like hell. Okay, and I think we're going to need him to run like hell, because this is kind of ridiculous. In fact, I think I'm going to need Nino here. Now, I'm going to move Eliwood fully out of this boss's range, and then I'm going to move Nino right into his range. That should actually give him the opportunity to attack her. With the Iron Rune, she is going to be able to get past him fairly quickly, and that's... Wow, that's really good to know. Okay, so you probably want to give Eliwood the full guard for this fight. If he gets crit against the boss, it would be fairly unlikely, but it would also spell the complete end of your adventure, so you probably don't want to do that. Well, it would at the very least spell the reloading of your adventure. There we go, boss is going to attack Nino. She could take 29 damage, but she's not going to. She's too good for that shit. 14 damage, no crits, and she only attacks twice. Holy crap, this guy is a beast. Look at that. She is a level 15 Sage, and she is barely doing anything to this guy. That is ludicrous. Anyway, another unit with a longbow is going to be a bit troublesome for Matthew, but nothing that he really can't handle with Oswin standing nearby. And in fact, he's going to get plenty of experience for this fight too. Just use that steel sword, hit twice, 14 damage twice is going to be more than enough to kill the Guardian by 1 HP. And he gets a level up off of it, if just barely. Level 3 Assassin, extra strength is extremely welcome, skill and speed is even more so, skill especially, he really needs that. But his speed is also probably going to max out here in the near future. She could attack with her Elfire Tome again, or I could actually ride Eliwood in here and attack. He does have a killing edge with a 40% crit chance. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have Nino attack with Elfire. If she doesn't crit on either of these attacks, then I can just send Eliwood in and finish him off. Hopefully she's going to dodge. She does, good. And she doesn't even finish off the boss. She leaves the experience for Eliwood. That's very, very nice. I mean, granted, the warrior's still probably going to attack her instead of Eliwood, and then she's going to kill him and get the experience for it, but take that for what you will. I can use the rapier here. In fact, I will deal 8 damage, 20% crit chance, and that, I guess, is the power of a fully trained berserker. Georg says, you seem familiar. You insert Roland RS1. Okay, so Eliwood's a lot like Roland back in the day, is what we're saying. Well, I mean, Roland did found the continent. Chances are he had some kids. Eliwood was probably among those kids, so there you go. Finished. Done. Well, no, Eliwood's ancestors were among those kids. He's not literally like, here is Roland, here is Eliwood. What are the weights of these things? 12 and 14, Jesus. But I do want that tomahawk. I'll drop an iron blade. It's not going to be a terrible loss, plus Eliwood will get some better swords here in a minute. Now, once your units get up here, if you haven't moved Eliwood within the space of the boss, you can actually use them to assist by breaking down these walls. Each one does have 100 HP, so it's going to be a little while before they can get in. But mostly, if Eliwood's well trained and he has the guard, then you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. Eliwood finally wielding a rapier again after all these levels. And I think that after he finishes off this final unit, next turn we will be set to go claim that space and win the level. A steel blade he can attack twice with because this guy is no Georg, his speed is nowhere near enough to match Eliwood. So we're perfectly okay there. 24 damage twice is more than enough to kill that warrior, and Eliwood nearly levels up for a 3rd or 4th time in a single level, and we get another elixir. God, there's not enough room for all these items. I'm going to go ahead and drop the steel blade, since Eliwood doesn't need that either, but elixirs are always helpful. And then next turn I've got 2 enemies sitting down there that chose not to engage Eliwood on his path, but that's fine. We'll move up here and wait, and that counts as claiming the space. And if you're having trouble with Georg and you don't want to fight him, lure him off to one side with a unit like Oswin or someone with the full guard who can survive a hit, and then just run Eliwood up onto the space afterwards. It's not as likely. I mean, you'd probably even need Ninian nearby to be able to do that sort of thing. It would require a bit of planning, but the long story is, or the long story made short, is that it's possible. Anyway, Athos just teleports in because dude has a habit of teleporting in after the action's over. And Eliwood gets to grab Durandal, the legendary blade. Or never mind, Athos gets to grab Durandal. The Little Knight? Really? Was Sir Roland a midget? Wait, Roland awakened. Wait, what? What the hell? Suddenly ghosts, okay. Well, there you go. The might of dragons. The boys descended from you. Lend him your strength. Okay, so he's been guarding the blade as a ghost for a while, so he says, here, take the blade, and I'm going to finally pass on to the afterlife. Which, I mean, that would suck. You're going to just sit there as a ghost over a sword for 1,000 years? You don't even have, like, any puzzles or anything. Georg didn't seem like the brightest bulb, so no games of chess with him or anything like that. It just probably wouldn't even work. But anyway, now we've got a sword infused with the spirit of an ancient hero, because those always make amazing things. And now we finally get... oh, what is this? A sword above the altar. It belongs to you, Eliwood. There we go. Durandal, the Sword of Sacred Fire. Good. And Eliwood just rides out on his armored horse from the cave. Well, what's with the text speed? It's auto-scrolling. What the hell? Okay, sure. Durandal, the Sword of Sacred Fire. It's strange, isn't it? I've never seen it before, and yet it feels so familiar. God, who can read at this pace? This is ludicrous. I will use this to battle Nurgle. Thank you for telling us your intentions. We thought you were going to use it to chop bread and whatnot. Oh, right. Auto-scrolling because something's about to happen. Anyway, something's coming. It's a giant-ass dragon. That is light blue. Yes, thank you, Lynn, for your keen observation. I'm with Hector, though. This is a 3 exclamation point type of thing. Eliwood one-shots a dragon with the sword. Damn, good effort. And you know what that thing looks like? It looks like one of those marshmallow dragons from back in the day. Like the ones you got in your cereal? Or the ones that you got in little eggs and then you put them in water and they expanded to like 3 times the size? God, those were amazing. I felt as if the sword itself was guiding my arm. Well, there you go. The Sword of Sacred Fire was made to combat dragons, so yeah, it probably was guiding your arm. Oh well. So yeah, Eliwood just killed a dragon. Just one shot. Oh, and it's an ice dragon, too. Apparently. Eliwood's like, seriously, what is wrong? Let me be the one to answer that. Okay, Ghost? Oh no, it's Nurgle talking with Ghost voice. Apparently Blackheart is standing behind Nurgle. Ninian, he's useless, he's come for... Seriously, you're just gonna... Wait, you can teleport other people now? Rescue staves don't work that way, you can't use them on enemy units. Oh, and apparently Nils is... What the hell? Look at this. I'm not the only one seeing this, right? That's an emulator bug, I think. Eliwood's just a black silhouette. Wow. Suddenly, Shadow Eliwood decided to get into the fight. God, who's the Blackheart now? I'm having way too much fun with this, never mind. Did you never once question it? Why the siblings were needed to open the Dragon's Gate? This is the most ponderous text speed I've seen in a while. This is probably normal text speed too. There are probably people who literally read this fast. There's probably a slower text speed than this. Oh my god. I can't even imagine. Why would humans be able to open a gate that was designed for dragons? Oh no, Ninian and Nils are human-shaped dragons. Poor Ninian's plight. Coaxed by my honeyed words, she passed through... Okay, whatever. Okay, so, long story short, what Nurgle is explaining is that he had the ability to call dragons. So, he called Ninian and Nils from the other side of the Dragon's Gate at one point. Presumably they were just sitting at the other end there. At which point they got turned into a human form and escaped Nurgle and went, well, to Lynn's story essentially. At which point Nurgle tried to hunt them down and bring them back with his weakest units, thank goodness, or he might have not been able to take them. And the big reveal is that the dragon that Eliwood first killed, the very first one, is Ninian. Oh, sadness. Dramatic moments. Oh, there you go. God, that's gotta suck for Eliwood, though. Shadow Eliwood here. That still hasn't been fixed. I don't know what's up with that. She's using the last of her strength to return to human form. Why she couldn't do that earlier, I have no idea. Why she couldn't mention this earlier. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, I'm a dragon, so is Nils. Please don't murder us. We thought this is an important point after the evil villain tried to capture us to bring about the end of the world. This is just, oh, wow. Okay, Eliwood's sprite changed. He's back to normal. He's out of depressed shadow mode. You killed her, Eliwood. Oh no, he's yelling. I'm with Hector on this. There's no need for 4 exclamation points. See, and this is what happened when the little water dragons were dried out for a while. They'd shrink back to normal size. Oh, and this is just... Even in game context, this sucks because Eliwood and Ninian had an A support on my file, which meant that they confessed that they loved each other. Which, oh man, that just sucks for them. All over. But yeah, telling us you were a dragon earlier probably would have helped. Just a little bit. I mean, granted, we would have thought you were completely insane, but it would have been worth something. And when Nils saw the dragon coming up, he didn't think to speak up. He was standing right there. Not even a word like, no wait, that's Ninian, I recognize her because I have lived my entire life as a dragon and I know these things. That probably would have been a good point to spill the beans, Nils. Oh well. And she dies. Right, she can't answer you. That's generally how it happens when people are dead. Again, 4 exclamation points, man. You're probably going a little bit overboard with that many. We get it, punctuation's important. Oh man, and Nurgle just with his giant-ass cloak in the background and his turban. What's with your turban's unraveling, Nurgle? You might want to take a look at that. Get it wound up again. Or even better, little known fact, that is in fact a prehensile turban. He can use it to grab objects. So Athos finally takes action and decides to attack, even though he only has 40 HP and Nurgle has the weapon type advantage. Okay, no, wait. It said he would take 13 damage from that attack. He took like 5. Oh well. So Athos casts a spell at Nurgle and it barely works and blah blah blah. This is a long-ass cutscene. If you are going to go somewhere, don't complete chapter 28, because you're going to have to wait a while before you can save again. I am impervious to damage, says the guy that literally just took funk. You really bothered to write out an entire thing of evil laughter? We can't hear the laughter, writing ha 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 ha. He could sound like freaking, who would it be? Oh god, I can't think of a really good evil laugh at the moment. He could be the most evil person on the face of the earth, or he could sound like Mandark, and we have absolutely no idea through the text. Again! You don't have to write out that many ha's. Oh, no, Eliwood's just chilling out in the back still, and he apparently left Nils behind. The entire purpose for him coming here. Nurgle's just like, well, I think I've broken your spirit enough, I'll leave you with your bard. Seriously, you're awake, Nils. You're still here. He left you behind, even though you were the piece he needed. Seriously, clarify. Why did you do this? Wasn't that the purpose of your visit? Oh, and now you bother to actually tell us, Nils. Nils, I'm so sorry you didn't mention that you're a fucking dragon. 5 exclamation points. God, it just keeps getting worse in this scene. So much emotion. Alright, save point, finally. 33 minutes in, and we're going on to chapter 29. Is there enough time to complete it this episode? You know what? Yes, this is the penultimate episode. We're going to make it a long one. Let's go on, folks. We can complete this next chapter. Ninian is dead. Now only Nurgle's echoing laughter remains. On Hector's advice, the group heads towards Ostia. They are weary to the bone, and they need time to regroup. Ostia is the most heavily guarded fortress city in all of Lycia. No enemy should have been able to breach its walls, and by that wording, someone was. Well, there you go. Chapter 29, Sands of Time. Oh wait, this isn't the penultimate chapter. Oh, whatever, we'll keep going. Okay, so apparently Hector's brother just exited. It's fine. I've got to get Matthew a new set of lockpicks for this level. Can't forget that. Athos, you know something. You have a right to know what? Clarify. Oh no, he stepped a tile forward. He's telling a story. Oh, they just met. Wait, they were just wandering through the desert together? Just like chilling the hell out. Hey, how's it going? Walking through the dunes, you? His only drive was the search for truth. And they were friends. And then one of them betrayed the other and tried to get the Elder Wand. And then he had to defeat him in a duel, and eventually... oh, forget it. A most amazing village. Humans and dragons living together in cooperation. A surprise to absolutely no one if you've played the previous game. A lot like Princess Ephael being evil. Why is this not a surprise? Because Arcadia is actually a well-known place in the next game, and you actually get characters from it, so take that for what you will. They were the same but different. Thank you, Athos. Oh, and Eliwood rides in. Cool, he was just chilling outside. Right, clarify. Really? It refused to fight humans, retreat to the wasteland. Okay, so big dragon city, dragon merchants, dragon swindlers, all sorts of fun stuff. And they all lived there and had a wonderful little time. Two centuries just passed in the blink of an eye. I didn't even realize, but suddenly it was my 700th birthday. Okay, so Athos is like, hey, we've just made a village of peace and prosperity. Let us share it with the world. And Nurgle's like, hey, I learned how to suck the life from things. This is the point at which you become concerned, Athos. This is the point at which you become very concerned. Oh, you tried to persuade him to stop. Started with small creatures and began... You did defeat him. Oh, okay, they did actually. Wait, just banished. You didn't kill the guy who knows how to steal life energy and bring himself back to life. This seems like a poor idea. You just kind of kicked him out. It's like, oh, hey, you don't belong here in our city anymore. Go live amongst the people, you life-stealing human magic vampire. And morphs. He learned to make morphs with quintessence, and hey, we're under attack by a bunch of people with glowing eyes that are very pretty. I don't get it. We've just heard a story about this. Of course we can. Well, there we go. We have to protect the throne. That is the big thing. For some reason, the throne is representative of the entirety of this castle. The throne falls, everything falls. And if we can hold them back for a little while, reinforcements should come. But that's not really going to be our concern this level. Our concern is going to be looting the entire treasures of this level. In fact, that's going to be our only concern. So let's give Matt a new set of lockpicks here and check the map for where he needs to go. As you can see, this is the throne that we're going to need to guard. We finally get one of these. Defense 2, avoid 20. Heals the HP of whoever's on it. We got 2 chests there. And 4 of your units will start away from everyone else. There's also a chest down there, and the boss is a sniper known as Denning. Now, at first you might be thinking he has a silver bow and a longbow. What is this terrifying force of nature? And then you kind of realize, wait, it's a sniper. We can just box him in and he can't attack anyone. And that is exactly true. You can literally just box Denning in and you'll be perfectly fine. If you can buy a restore staff, I would recommend it, as it is entirely possible to get slept by this druid here. So sending units with lots of magic resistance down here is going to be your best bet. To this end, I'm going to be sending Urk and Canas. Actually, I'm going to be sending all my magic users. Physical defense up top, magic defense down there. Urk, Canas, and most importantly, Nino. Now, I will need to get to that chest, so I think I still have a chest key with 2 uses for someone to use. Matthew will be going for the chest on the left, which is going to be easy enough for him, especially considering he's got Hector and Oswin to pave the way. And wait, Lowen's coming with? Just how many units are we allowed on this fight? Jesus. 18? Holy crap, I do not need Lowen, Bartray, or any of them. I could bring Jafar with if I wanted. He's actually fairly powerful, and if I gave him a set of lockpicks, he could get some of those items as well. I think I'm going to do that, actually. Sounds like a good idea, but I'm not bringing along anyone else. I could bring along the Galt, the level 12 thief, but that seems like a really terrible idea, so I'm not going to. Now, we do also have... Wait, Mills can't take part? Why can't Mills take part? He's grieving? Is that it? Come on. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and give Jafar some actual items here. Iron sword, we got plenty of silver swords. Do I want to give him one? I think so, and then a killing edge, which I'm actually starting to run out of. That's not good. And of course he's going to get a vulnerary. Oh, and a lockpick. God, I almost forgot to give him a lockpick. That would have been terrible. Good, good. And what else can we give people here? You have plenty of killing edge. You are actually coming with on this fight, so just be glad for that. Put that silver sword back in the convoy, and actually take a silver axe out. It is about time you got one. Canas has Flux and Luna. I could give him an extra Flux tome. In fact, I think I should... Oh, no, never mind. Just another Luna tome. Since evidently I don't have the other Flux tome with me. Rebecca, you'll grab a silver bow here, because I got you a couple of those. Good, yes. Urk is more than capable of fighting with just L-Fire, but I'm going to give him a second one of them, just in case. Oswin, hand in your Iron Lance. Take a Silver Lance instead. Matthew, transfer your Steel Blade, take a Silver Sword. Raven, give your Steel Sword, take a Silver Sword. But you're going to be fighting mostly with axes anyway, so don't worry too much about that. Eliwood, give that Tomahawk and that Elixir over and take a decent sword, namely a silver one, since we have plenty. Hector, you'll actually keep most of your items, so I'm going to trade out that Iron Axe for a silver one. And Lynn gets to sell that steel bow, because why the hell does she have a 3-use steel bow? And grab another one from somewhere in here. There's actually a 30-use iron bow in the transfer, so she'll grab that. And she'll give her steel sword and take a silver sword, because Lynn has low enough attack that she's going to need it. And even with all that, we still have 3 spares left. Good. Very good. Now, Priscilla's going to actually have a bit of a task this time around, because there is actually a secret shop in this level, and it's one of the most well hidden in the game, so you have to be a little bit careful with it. She's going to need both the warp and rescue staffs, 5 and 3 uses respectively. We could take the sleep staff with us, but it's extremely unlikely that it's going to work, especially on the druid. But I could give it a shot. How many uses does it have? Transfer, take... I mean, it only has 3 uses, but what is its... It's a B staff, so only Sarah or Priscilla would be able to wield it. In fact, I think I'm going to give the rescue staff to Sarah. And the warp staff to Priscilla. And then I'm going to give the sleep staff to Priscilla, because if she can sleep that... I could also use an unlock staff. In fact, I think I'm going to. Going to go ahead and sell this physic, and this heal, and this vulnerary. And I'm going to take from the transfer a brand new physic, a brand new vulnerary, and the unlock staff, just so she can unlock any doors that they come across, because we really can't be bothered to do that with our other units. Now, are we just about ready to go on to this fight? Oh, wait a minute. Sarah's not over near my other units. She'll have to fight her way down there with everybody else. It's going to be easy enough, especially if I give Florina a javelin or something like that. In fact, I might want to just stick Canas here, because he could pretty much tear apart the entire enemy team. But on the other hand, Dart needs the experience, and they do have quite a few snipers there. Alright, we're actually having to use strategy for one of the first times in the game, so kudos to Fire Emblem for actually managing that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and give Oswin... and even Hector some ranged weapons here. Oh wait, what sort of swords can you use now? Is steel sword still the extent of your ability to use them? Yeah, pity. Oh well. Then, naturally, whoever is going to be teleported over is going to need a spot in their inventory for the members card, so I think it's going to be Urk, since he can just take the members card and go through here. Check the map one more time, save. Alright, I think that's about it. We're just about ready to go into this fight. Jafar is going to be chilling out with Matthew over here, my 2 assassins ready to go and take out this chest. And I'd say we're just about good to start the level. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Relenus became level 2 again, good, since he is upgraded and he's getting more stats. And as you can see, there definitely aren't enough chapters in this game that you could... This is a message for Lord Nurgle. I await you on the Dread Isle. This message from Lord Nurgle. Oh, Jesus. He's an automated message in the form of a giant fucking sniper. Oh, that's fun. Tell all the soldiers, take your post, don't move, hold your positions. Hold on until reinforcements arrive. Now, you can have someone... Oh, wow, Nils? Seriously? You're not going to be over on that side of the map, right? Okay, good. Nils is just going to chill out on the side of the map. That's extremely good. Now, let's just send Kanas straight out into battle. If I had a Nosferatu tome, that would actually be beneficial for him, but since I don't, Flux is going to have to do. Hector is going to go out on the other side of the map and equip himself a Tomahawk, and because he is going to be taking out a lot of these folks. And then who else is it going to be? Who was it? Raven I give a ranged weapon to? Yeah, Raven has a hand axe. As I think does Dart. Yeah, there we go. Dart's going to be ready to fight as well. I'm going to go ahead and have, oh my god, Nosferatu in Silence? That's a terrible thing. Luckily, Silence has a very low chance of hitting due to the fact that if a unit has... Oh, wait a minute, Rebecca, why are you with the magic users? I really screwed that up, didn't I? Oh, yeah. I think it's because I stuck Kanas with my main. Now, I could use the rescue staff, but I'm not going to, but at least you can sort of see the range we're dealing with here. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to teleport someone over to this plane. It sounds really dumb, and no one would ever think of that. But there you go. That's what we have to do. That's where the secret shop is. It's on one of those little squares. We also have that chest over there, which I completely forgot to give someone a key for, so we're going to have to get our assassins out there as soon as possible. But there's really not enough movement range on everyone to get them out. So long as you stick one person on the throne here, you should be fine. And we're going to stick our trusty Merlinus on there. If any enemy gets to that throne, it is an instant lose condition, so I would recommend not letting them do that. But past that, you really don't need to worry about too much. Additionally, the enemies are going to be attacking the knights first and foremost. If there is a weaker enemy, they will just about always attack them, and the knights definitely qualify in this case. I need to send Jafar around this way. I really can't afford to send him the other way. I've also got my 2-3 magic users here, so I'm going to go ahead and send Nino out this way so she can take care of just about anyone that walks through. Send Priscilla right behind, and then I'll actually have Rebecca just start firing over the wall with the longbow. Since apparently you can still fire over walls if you have a longbow. Even if the walls are thick and solid. Seriously, it's a solid wall. How in the world are you firing through this? Oh well. We've got a Swordmaster with a Killing Edge who has precisely 0% crit chance because Nino has the full guard. So, naturally, she's just going to be able to use Elfire twice against a Swordmaster. That is the kind of speed we're talking about, people. Nino is that fast. Swordmasters are notoriously the fastest and most evasive units in the game, and she has an 100% chance to hit with 0 crit chance on the enemy. Well, mostly because, wow, 81% chance to hit and he missed that first shot. But now he's poisoned. If you do want to heal these units, a lot of the enemies have poison bows, so it's actually to your benefit to let the unit get hurt and then sort of train yourself up with healing stabs. There we go, poison bow, easy to hit with, 2 damage, and he's going to strike twice because these knights are slow as hell. Ostia does not employ the best and brightest, especially compared to our units, but then again, our units have kind of been through hell, haven't they? The enemy has an advantage with that Nosferatu tome, which is to say, he has a slightly higher hit chance to do absolutely nothing, and Nino will overkill him by slightly less. But there we go, Elfire, that's what it does. Once you can start using Elfire on a regular basis, do so. It's strong enough that you really don't have to worry about anything else. So far as I know, there is no extra condition for keeping these Ostian Knights alive. This level would be significantly more difficult if there was, but you don't have to worry about that too much. Urk may not be as tough as Nino, but he is absolutely hard to take down. So maybe, okay, let me rephrase that. He's not as offensive as Nino, but he is tough as nails. 51 HP is nothing to scoff at, especially on a mage. He is just one of the tankiest bastards you will meet in a good long while. 23% chance to hit with poison bows. Rebecca's longbow is going to take a bit of a beating since I used it to take out one of the poison bow units earlier. But as you may notice on this level, a lot of enemies do have poison weaponry. So you're going to want somebody that can attack, or if you have anyone with a recover staff, not a recover staff, what is it called? A restore staff. You're going to want them to bring that with, just in case any of your units get hit with poison. If you're kind of worried about their health, you can use that. HP and speed is pretty good level up, but I could really use some strength on you, Dart, considering your skill cap is so high for that. Or considering your strength cap is so high for that, and you really haven't even begun to hit it. There we go, a bunch more archers move in. Archers seem to be the units of the day with that commander of theirs. And of course our unit of the day remains Nino. The one badass among my army who can take on pretty much any comer. If I had saved my items to be able to be used on her, she would be one of the most terrifying things you've ever seen. Enemy with a longbow can actually deal some damage because it's a sniper, but once I stick Nino onto that pillar there, nothing is going to be able to hit her again. However, you do need to be careful in this level as there are going to be thieves moving in, and when there are thieves moving in, you have to be careful that the thieves don't steal your shit. Now, I do technically consider what's in those chests my shit, not to be confused with the enemy shit, which is to say, whatever they're holding in their hands at the time, and occasionally not even that. Matthew is extremely heavy on dodge, so he should be able to get that steel bow. Out of the way, enemy going to be attacking another Ostian knight. These guys are really just cannon fodder. They'll soak a couple of hits for you for a couple of turns, but past that, really? Silent staff before anything else? Miss. Good. You know what? I'm actually going to use my warp staff this turn. I'm going to have Priscilla warp someone else. Oh, he's wasting his sleep staff on an Ostian knight. Oh my... Thank God. That's amazing. Okay, so... those knights may not be the deadliest things, but it seems they are good for something. They will soak up the sleep staff uses. Normally, sleep staffs are pretty nasty as they will give the enemy a 100% hit chance against you. That unit just died from poison. That sucks. And he's running away because of poison. And wow, they're actually attacking. You're serious? You're about to die from flux. Why would you attack? That's not tactical. That's suicide. There's a difference. If you just let it go for one more turn, I could kill all these units for you, and wow, you're ganging up on the one unit. Congratulations, the best of Ostia. You have managed to kill a shaman. The entirety of the Ostian forces have successfully killed a single shaman. God damn it. Matthew lands a lethality. Good. A normal crit would have done. And that's actually one of the things. Lethalities seem to trigger on crits occasionally, but you don't really need to worry about lethalities too much, because if you're getting a crit, well, you don't really need to worry about that. I am going to see if I can't get everybody else to finish off these units before I move Jafar out and attack, though. Simply because it's going to be that much easier. I could have Oswin take out the sniper. In fact, I think I'm going to have him do so. 28% chance to hit twice, and twice with a steel axe at that, so he's going to be able to do quite well. Look at that. Tons of damage. He may have been one of our first two upgraded units, but he still pulls his weight extremely effectively. Hector could use his tomahawk, but he really doesn't need to, so I'm going to have him train with his sword. Good. Steel sword uses. 2 of them is beneficial, as it will allow him to level up that much faster. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Throw it into me a bit. There we go. Now we can just have Guy take out this next unit, or we could have Raven do it. Who do we want? Guy's a level 10 swordmaster. Raven is a level 7 hero, who actually needs training in his secondary weapon. Obviously, Guy doesn't really need training in a secondary weapon, as he kind of specializes in one, doesn't he? Now, there we go. Raven's going to go ahead and level up. That's extremely nice. Level 8 hero, extra strength, and hopefully some resistance. No, but his speed is getting very near maxed out. That's actually pretty impressive. He's only 1 point away from that. Speaking of maxed out, I think Nino may have maxed out on skill there. Yeah, there she goes. Pretty close to maxing out on resistance as well. Probably won't max out on magic, but that's just going to happen. In fact, the only weakness I can really see with Nino is the fact their constitution is so low. Now, I do want to... I don't know if this boss moves. I'm going to have to take that chance. If Nino kills the boss, then that won't really be too much of a loss. But I want to get this sleep staff user dead, and dead now for that matter. Here we go. And actually, I don't even think I'll have to use the warp staff to get a unit over to that guy. No, I will. Never mind. Staff, warp, Rebecca to that space there. Good. Rebecca is now on the other side of the wall. Tons of experience, holy crap. And Rebecca can now take out... Actually, she'll just attack with a longbow, because, come on, longbow, why would she not use it? Enemy morph has Nosferatu, but it doesn't matter if Rebecca is out of range. And now I don't have to worry about either staff user ever again. Good, I hate staff users so much. It seems like they're way more accurate when they're in the enemy's hands. You know what I mean? Alright, Florina is going to be able to take out this sniper here. Extremely satisfying, considering she's no longer weak to them, they're now weak to her. Well, not really. They don't have a specific weapon weakness, but you know what I mean. I could actually have Sarah try to kill someone and succeed in killing someone. Holy crap, she can attack twice. Did I give her the speed wings? Or no, is that just natural speed? Was she just not able to attack against other units because they were fast as hell before? Anyway, hopefully she'll get an HP level up. She does. Magic, luck, and resistance as well. That's actually pretty good. She might not be a terrible unit if she gets a couple of extra magic level ups here in the near future. I'm going to have Eliwood kill this other sniper, since that's going to be extra good for him. I actually haven't given him a normal weapon. The rapier is as close as he gets. Still, with 40 uses on it, it should serve him until the end of the game at least. He can't yet use Durandal because he's a little bit scared because he just killed his girlfriend with it. Well, there you go. Level up to a level 5 Night Lord. It gets 1 resistance. Not a very solid level up, Eliwood, but oh well. Now, Dart is already S with axes, so I really don't have to worry about him practicing with anything. He's just going to bury that giant axe straight into the head of the archer there. Still no more poison arrows, so that's really nice. Extra strength, even better. He's only a level 8 berserker. He'll probably max out on strength. Berserkers often do. Going to send Canas out here. We're nearly to that part of the level where we'll be able to get to those treasures already. Should be next turn, considering Lynn has a bow and arrow she'll be able to use to help break down that wall. Now I can just have both of my thieves rush in, or in this case both my assassins rush in. We're supposed to protect the throne, but if you'll look, there are only 9 enemies left on the map. We already outnumber them 2 to 1. Our force is that fearsome, and oh god, the boss moves. Shit. That's a problem. That's a big problem. He has a longbow, and that's actually fairly frightening, because it can actually do damage to Nino, and she's probably the scariest member of our team, and she's just not even phased by most things, but there you go. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to stick Nino in this doorway right here, right above where she currently is. When the enemy sniper moves to attack her, I'll have to have a bunch of units move in. The only problem is I don't really see how we're going to be able to get in range for that. Okay, Rebecca does dodge the hit. If I can use a rescue staff to get someone else with a long range nearby, say Florina. Florina should actually be able to fly in. I've also got Priscilla nearby, which is good. Nino can kill the rest of the enemy units here, so we'll be able to at least surround the boss. And you do want to surround the boss, because if you kill the boss, I think that ends the level, and we won't be able to get any of the treasures that are here, and we want those treasures. So I have to be extremely careful. It says he has an 81% chance to hit, but I think that's a 100% chance since he is sleeping. I don't really know how a sleeping unit could dodge. Well, there you go. Apparently he sleepwalks. Canas is going to be easily able to kill this sniper. He's nearly to level 20. It's going to be a race between him and Nino for that vaulted position. Oh, and Ninian had the boots on her. Son of a bitch. I should have realized that. That's why you never use the boots on Ninian. She dies a couple of stages from when you get them. Wow, that sucks. So now that Ostia Knight is both sleeping and poisoned, it is not his best day, but hey, at least he's a heavy sleeper, right? Now, that sniper is actually going to be fairly scary, and these knights are... Wait, what? Okay, apparently getting hit woke him up, which allowed him to dodge the attack. No sleepwalking here. And we do have a thief down there that you'll want to kill before you can get to that treasure, which is going to be a bit of a thing since we do have the boss right here. Oh dear. I'm going to have Nino make a run for it. I'm going to have everyone else get ready to take down Denning when the time comes, but for now I think Denning should attack the enemy... or the friendly Ostian Knights here, which would be to our benefit. Hopefully he'll attack them and he doesn't attack my units. If he attacks my units, they have a chance of dying, and that's not what I want. In fact, the only one I think would have a chance of dying is going to be Priscilla, but even that would be a bit of a stretch because she's fast enough and she has that support with Urk. So, level up, level 11 Sage, extra magic and luck, good level up. You're nearly catching up with Nino here, Urk. Actually, if you level up your... Actually, that's true. If you level up magic a couple of extra times in the next couple of levels, you'll really only be behind on speed and skill in terms of sheer damage output. Okay, so since I can't actually move here, since the Ostian Knight is still going to be able to be caught by the enemy. Actually, if I could get Denning to somehow move into that little passage there, I would be able to make him that much weaker to my units. Or being caught by my units, rather. Priscilla gets a little bit of extra defense, which should help her out, and she is now up to weapon level C. She's finally able to use Hellfire. Could I sleep Denning? Ooh, that would be a risky prospect, but I'm kind of thinking about trying it. If I could manage to sleep Denning, that would make this level so much easier. I cannot even describe. Anyway, I'm going to want as many units nearby to surround this boss as I can for when the time comes, and I want to bust down this wall in the meantime. Hector can very nearly kill it on his own with just a steel sword, but Lyn can definitely finish it off with a bow. And then I can just have my assassins rush in and start pilfering all the treasure. Hooray, I love treasure. And actually, I think I'll keep Matthew nearby just to kill this morph when the time comes. Nino is going to be able to kill this morph when he starts to get nearby. And we're going to get that chest for ourselves, because we do want that chest. There's got to be something good in it if it's way in the corner like that. Surely they wouldn't let us down with something just like plain old gold, would they? I honestly can't remember. They wouldn't do that, right? I really want that chest, but if it's just gold, that would be a complete waste to put all this effort in. I should have given the boots to Oswin, god damn it. Oh well. Come on, Denning, attack an Ostian Knight. There you go! That's a good boy. 2 attacks with a longbow means that the Ostian Knight is going to die, and there's another one in range. Oh, he is going to be the perfect cannon fodder next turn. 0% hit chance on Nino since she's standing on a pillar there, so that knight, or that cavalier, he's not even a knight, Jesus. They're still sending tier 1 units against us. This is literally one of the final levels, and he cannot do anything. Anyway, that morph is kind of intelligent. He does have a Luna Tome, which is fairly dangerous, but he only has 9 magic, so it's really not dangerous at all. Eliwood just kind of tilts his head, as does his horse. And they're perfectly fine. Hector's going to get hit by another guy, this one with Nosferatu. Well, he does. Actually, he isn't necessarily going to get hit. No, he is going to get hit. Enemy unit heals 9 HP, putting him to full from full. And that thief is actually going to be going to unlock the door. What? Why is he going for the door? There's nothing in that door. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. Why would he do that? Oh, now we've got just the bravest set of knights you'll ever see. Look at those guys. They're so dedicated. And another thief spawns. Why are there so many thieves? Is he really just going to unlock the door for me? That would be really nice of him. I'd be okay with this guy. I'm so close to being able to lock down Denning here. So close. God damn it. Oh, I can! I can lock down Denning within this Ostian Knight. He'll probably attack the Ostian Knight this turn, and that'll be fine, but then I'll have him locked down right afterwards, and I'll be able to have all my other units nearby take him out. Beautiful! Sarah is going to have the advantage versus this morph with Luna. He does less damage to her, because the Luna damage is actually calculated before the damage reduction from standing on a pillar, so that does help out considerably. So Sarah gets some EXP and a little bit of training with magic, but she's still only D rank with light magic, so that's really not going to be too helpful. Turns out the unlocked staff I brought along is going to be completely and totally useless, but that's fine, and now I can just have my assassins open up these wonderful chests and see what's inside. A dragon shield, good. 2 extra defense is always beautifully nice. And a white gem, cash. Sure, whatever. I could have Hector kill this unit, and I will, because what the hell. Holy shit, 35 damage. What a beast. Look at that guy. Just one hit killing mages, but then again, it is a mage, so take that for what you will. And he does have that support with Florina. He's not even near her at the moment. He's got that much damage. That's pretty impressive. I'm going to go ahead and send Urkoff this way, since he is going to be the one with the warp staff here in the near future. Nino is going to kill this cavalier, because apparently the thief is going somewhere completely unrelated. And I'm thinking that the second thief is actually going to attack Nino for lack of a better option. He might poison her, but with 45 HP, she'll be more than able to tank that. And I'll end my turn. Yeah, he's going to attack the knight. Silver bow, not even his longbow. Fine, knight's dead. You've got no moves left. What is over there? What are you so interested in? Is there a treasure chest I missed? Do you guys just really love doors? What? Explain. Please, clarify the situation for me. Holy shit! Units! Okay, Nino, to action! Lots of morphs, okay, so this guy has, what? Poison sword lockpick, poison sword lockpick, poison lance, poison bow. Yeah, if you got antitoxins, pack them along for this fight, folks, because it is going to be a hell of a ride if you do not. But if you have a unit like Nino who can dodge all the poison weapons anyway, then by all means, just send her into the middle of the fray. God. So good! Level 17 Sage, no stats. Nino, you disappoint me. I gave you Aphis drops, and what? You either leveled up skill or speed there. Now, if I stick any units within range of Denning, but... I could actually use a Recover Staff on Dart. Sure, let's keep practicing with her. Maybe you'll actually get to rank B by the time the last level rolls around. But I don't anticipate it. I think we're actually... Oh, what would it be? I know I've said this many times, but we're definitely getting near the end here. In fact, I think we are... Can you Sleep Staff him? Can you do that? 25% chance to hit, because he has 22% resistance. Or 22 resistance. Sure, try it. Melee range Sleep Staff on a sniper. Do it. Miss. Yeah, I figured as much. Well, what do you expect? You're standing right next to him. Eliwood can stay there, Florina can stay there. Priscilla will eventually have to move since she's the one with the Warp Staff. I need to get Sarah down to near where it is so she can actually rescue someone. And Kanas can go help with the units near the bottom of the screen. But he really doesn't need to, that's just more of an afterthought. And Urk's got to be the one to get teleported, so I need to have someone ready to take his place. I think that's going to be Guy. And then I have a random Ostian Knight who's just going to be charging out there. That's perfectly fine. I'll bet he feels real proud of himself. I need to send either Matthew or Jafar around to get to this chest before the level is over, though. Turn 5 out of 11, and we've pretty much cleared the field. It's a beautiful thing. If you're on the defensive for this level, then you can always rely on choke points. You might not get all the treasure, but if you don't need a dragon shield or some cash, then that's probably okay. So don't worry about it too much. Or if you don't have a Nino to take on all these units, then that's perfectly fine as well. But if you do have a Nino, or someone who is as powerful as Nino somehow, someone else you've given Aphis drops to, waited to level up to that point, and remember, you do want to give Aphis drops to a low-level unit. Oh, this guy's scared of Nino, goes to attack Kanas instead, but that is not a bright move. Just a crit flux, no worries. And once more, Merlinus is just sitting his cart on the throne. He's literally putting a cart on the throne, there's nothing else there. And I don't know what those thieves are going to do. They'll probably charge for the treasure now, I think, since it's the only treasure left and they already did their job of unlocking that completely pointless door. Yeah, there we go, they're heading straight for the treasure. I don't even need to worry about it. If anyone's in their way, I don't even know if they'll be bothered by it. We get a knight moving towards the final unit. It's fine. Oh, and we get knights spawning behind us. Oh no, whatever will we do? We'll send Dart. Is it even a question? Dart can actually get hit by the boss if he moves through there. I think he'll be able to take it. So that's fine. I need to move Urk out of here. I sure use a Recover Staff, what the hell. And then I can have Guy move in as well. Now, Priscilla's the one with the Warp Staff, so she's going to have to leave too. Which means Dart's actually going to have to swap places and be at that door here pretty soon. Or I need to get another unit here in the near future. Rebecca, you could probably do the job, or one of the thieves, since I don't need both of them. But I just need someone over there to help lock down Denning while I get to that treasure. In the meantime, speaking of the treasure, Kanas is just going to kill one of these thieves, and Nino is going to kill the other, so they're not going to be able to unlock that chest at all. It's not even a race at this point. It's just a bit of a... What is it? A rout? Yeah, rout. It's a good word, rout. You never hear it enough. There we go. Nino, Elfar, 7 uses left. Not that she really needs them. 1 use is usually enough for just about any unit she comes across. We still haven't found the A-rank magic to use yet. Fimbulvitter, or whatever it was. We saw it used against us once, but that's about it. HP and magic, good. Are you maxed out on magic now? No, that's a max rank of, what is that, 30? Yeah, you're not maxing out on magic unless I can find an energy ring somewhere. That'd be pretty cool, though, if I did find an energy ring. Come to think of it, Sarah doesn't even have to rescue someone. Sarah could take the place of Priscilla. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. She doesn't have to rescue anyone, so that's fine. So, go ahead and send her in there, and I think that should just about do it. Wait until... Oh, longbow, 53% to do 12 damage. No, Dart. Whatever will you do now that you're down to your second health bar? Oh no, a Myrmidon with 41% chance of poisoning Canas. He will now take periodic damage for a portion of his HP every single turn until it is cured or he dies. Holy crap, he can actually do damage to Nino. Whatever would we do if Nino took 1 damage? Curl up into a ball and cry, I think. It would just be, it'd be the end of the day. That'd be it. Nothing more, that's it. And we have the brave Ostian Knights taking their place next to units here. And what is that unit in the back? A druid. What does he have? Eclipse! Holy crap! Rebecca, go kill that guy. I do not want A1's HP reduced by half while I'm here. In fact, I don't even want Dart going near that guy. I'm a bit scared of him. Does he have any ranged attacks? What about him? No. Poison Lance, Poison Lance. Naturally, what else should I have expected here? So, without further ado, Urk is going to move a little bit further south, and Priscilla is going to transport him to the secret shop. Away you go. Now, I'll just find the secret shop next turn and be able to do that pretty easily. Level 12 Valkyrie, damn, nice effort. And Canas can just go ahead and tear apart one of these Myrmidons while Nino gets the other one. Myrmidons are probably going to be one of the only units that can hit with poison swords at this point, unless your units are extremely low on speed or dodge for some reason. So, killing them from a distance is generally advisable, as enemies don't actually need to do damage with poison swords for them to take effect, they just need to hit. I think that would actually make more sense if they did damage with them for them to be able to apply the poison. I mean, you're talking about exactly that, but what do I know? I'm no game designer. I'm just playing the game. It's all good. Right. 100% chance to do 20 damage. I appreciate your sacrifice, Ostian Knight, but it really wasn't necessary. I've got this guy locked down. And really, this is the easiest strategy for completing this level. I don't know what the developers were thinking, putting a boss of a sniper. I mean, I guess the challenge is getting close enough to surround him without your units dying, but if you're this tough by this point, you're really gonna get close enough anyway. Maybe it was actually for the better. If he attacked you at melee range, you would probably kill him. You'd have to stick someone in a doorway to make sure he didn't suicide himself on one of your units. And he's attacked... Really? The Ostian. That's your big target? Oh no, he took half of his health. Whatever will he do? And the brave units of Ostia continue to move out. Seriously, if you had to keep these guys alive, it would be the biggest chore. You'd have to rescue 5 separate knights. In fact, I don't even want them to walk. Priscilla, warp him over there. He'll be able to get it this turn, hooray! Who knows, maybe I'll even just be able to kill Denning and end this level. A body ring, that's really good actually, I want that. It increases the constitution of the unit that uses it by 2. Now, his constitution is what determines... Where's the secret shop here? There it is. Holy crap, okay, so if you haven't had anybody that's upgraded by this point, there you go. That's all they sell? Just upgrade? Just, that's it? Oh, that was a waste. Oh well. So Urk's gonna stand outside the castle. Why he can't just walk around the castle, anyone's guess. And then after these 2 units die, I'm just actually after these 2 units and the druid up top die, I'm just gonna finish off Denning. Hopefully they'll end the level. I figured the entire enemy team being routed would probably be an acceptable victory condition. But what do I know? L-Fire, 1-hit kill. Par for the course. I've still got 2 uses left on that warp staff if I ever want to do that. In fact, I think I know the perfect place to use it if the time ever comes. Or I might just want to use some bolting magic when this time comes, but you'll definitely see what I'm talking about when I arrive there. Iron Bow takes out the guy with Eclipse fairly easily. Bam, done. And there we go. Dead unit. Guy will just attack with a killing edge, and with 62% crit, that should be more than enough to kill this unit, unless he misses it both times, which he just did. Way to go, Guy. Top notch. Super pro. Eliwood will kill him then. If he can. Come on, crit. You either, huh? Alright. Well, I guess Denning's going to live another turn. And then Eliwood's going to just kill him next turn. Hooray, the Knight of Ostia has moved into range to successfully see the enemy die next turn. Canas and Nino get a little bit of extra experience killing their respective Myrmidons. We're just having a grand old time. People just walk up to the door, they get to take them out with a single hit of magic, they get a little bit of EXP each. My 2 level 17 and 18 magic users. Honestly, I'm probably going to give the body ring to Nino. Enemies at the end of the game can be exceptionally fast, and tomes are sort of heavy. So while her speed is maxed out, it's eventually going to get to the point where even she won't be able to double attack someone, because a weight of 10 and a constitution of 4 means that she's only attacking at a speed of 22. No wait, 20. So, a speed of 22 instead of 20 might be the difference between not attacking twice and attacking twice. Eliwood is going to finish off the boss with the rapier here. Easy enough. Dead Denning, this is a message from Lord Nurgle. He finally dies. Only way we could turn him off. It's like that one, what was it? What was the game? I can't even remember what it was. Dante's Inferno. Do you remember that? The marketing tactic where they sent a box out to a bunch of developers just saying, wait, really? Everything's dead and I still have to end the turn? Okay. Oh no, it's still 2 turns left if no enemies left on the field. Whatever will we do? Canas is healed, hooray. Oh wait, he should actually use a heal staff on someone if he can. Gotta get him up to rank B. Should probably give Nino a heal staff at some point too, but she has all that L-Fire to deal with. Or she got have time for a heal staff. But yeah, if you really need this secret shop by this point, if somebody is not upgraded on your team, you probably have bigger concerns. Oh good! Are you unharmed? Protect Lord Hector! Attack! Rout the enemy from the cast. Where'd everybody go? I don't... Oh well. So yeah, every single one is a morph. Ephidel, Sonia... He's been making people... Oh well. Okay, so Arcadia is now within Sandstorms, hidden in the underground ruins, waited for Nurgle. And we found him first. There you go. Wait, draw him into the desert, which would be his end. Clarify, this guy can teleport. How are you going to kill him with a desert? Oh, Kashuna. Would that work? Or was Kashuna Nurgle's tool against Athos? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he was able to call Ninian and Nils, which kind of screwed up Athos' plans. So he just wants to take the quintessence of dragons. Power the legendary items. So Athos is just going to go get Bramimond. And we're going to go to the Dragon's Gate. So, we might as well take the fight to him. I like this idea. No. It takes the strongest of bonds to alter the course of fate. Go, my youthful friends, set your sights on the Dragon's Gate and keep moving. Alright, so 2 levels left, I think. Where's Durandal? Oh, I left it behind, you know, under a chair. I had a bit of a snack, forgot it behind. No, alright. So Athos is gonna take Durandal for a while. He's going to have to use it, but he doesn't want to. It killed his loved one. Give him a break. Side quest. What? There's a side quest? I don't remember this. This is, what is it? Battle prepper. Oh, I remember this level. This is a great level. Everybody gets this level. You get a level. You get a level. Everybody gets a level. Always take this side quest. It's amazing. But this has been running long, so next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem, we prepare for battle. See you all then!